Welcome back, everybody. Derek Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, it's summertime, and summertime brings a lot of iced tea. Well, for me, it does. I don't know about you, but iced tea uh, is expensive. You go to a restaurant, it's like $4 or $5 for a serving, unlimited. Uh, then you go to the grocery store, and you're paying nearly $3 for uh, a prepared iced tea, about 1 liter size, is typically what I've purchased. And so anyway, uh, I want to have some variety in my iced tea, and one of my favorites, even when I go to the restaurant, I ask if they have raspberry iced tea, and so uh, some restaurants do, some don't, and it's the syrup and water that they typically give you, and it's that instant stuff, the concentrate, but it's okay. It's made by Lipton, and you know what you're going to get. It's very consistent, but uh, every once in a while, it kind of gets boring, and so. For years, I used black tea, which is the standard for most iced teas, sun tea and all that. But I like to the sun tea is great if you have a lot of time, and if you're using black tea. But I like some different flavors, and so one of the flavors that I really enjoy is the mint medley by Bigelow, and so um, there it is, and uh, on a typical coffee pot, 12 cup coffee pot, takes 4 envelopes of these for me, for the proper taste, where there's just a slight minty flavor, and it's herbal. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the black tea, but this is uh, this does give you some variety and some different tastes. And then also green tea. Green teas are much better for you, for your blood circulation. So these are what I use nowadays. And um, of course, uh, people say, well, what do you use for the sweetener? Well, I use stevia in the raw, and comes in little packets here like this, or you can buy it in the larger size, and so like this. And this saves you a whole bunch of money right here, and it's extremely sweet, and you're going to use significantly less than with cane sugar, or if you use like me for a number of years, back in the day, was sweet and low, the pink envelope, and so that's what I used in my iced tea, because it dissolved quickly. It was a sugar substitute, but now saccharose, which is sweet and low, has been found to cause some complications, and may not be really good for you. And so that's why I started. And saccharose is not a natural sweetener. That's the thing. It's a chemical derivative, and so I've always had issues with the man-made stuff, and so that's why I like the stevia. Stevia is a plant leaf, and it's 300 times more sweet than cane sugar, and so you use significantly less. It is FDA approved, and it is organic. And while this is a highly purified and concentrated version, and so typically when I mix in the coffee pot, the 12 cup, a teaspoon, just a teaspoon of this, a level teaspoon, is more than enough uh, for the iced tea, or for the tea to be sweet enough for me. Or if you use the packets like this, I use six. So it's 12 cups, 6 packages. So just remember 12 cups, cut it in half, 6 for the stevia. And it holds true pretty well. Whereas in if you are using sugar, you may be using a quarter to a half a cup of cane sugar. So, uh, what can I say? And so, anyway, now we have the iced tea. We get it all refrigerated, chilled down, and now we're ready to serve. And so, we're just at the mint tea or the green tea, or if you're using the standard black tea, uh, it's now cold enough, but it's kind of still boring. And I like I said, I love raspberry teas, and I often ask for it. And so what I do nowadays, and this is really versatile. I use this a red raspberry. You see that? It's a red raspberry syrup, a single pump, a single squirt into my cup. Uh, for This is a pretty good size cup. This is a 1 liter cup, and uh, I throw my ice in there, 1 squirt of the syrup, and then fill my cup up with the iced tea. And it is very flavorful. If you want a more intense flavor, add another squirt. Uh, I don't recommend that you go above 3 on 1 liter because it gets extremely sweet, and the syrup is cane sugar, and so for those of you with health issues, cane sugar could be bad for you. Like in my case, where I have diabetes type 2, and so I take medication, metformin, for my uh, blood sugar issue, and so the thing about stevia, there's a lot of health benefits by using stevia because it has been, at one time it was thought that it could cause harm to your liver and your kidneys and your bladder. But then over time, it's been proven not true. And in fact, it has relaxing um, properties to this, where folks with high blood pressure, it could help you uh, maintain a more stable blood pressure if you have the tendency to um, have high blood pressure. And what this does, stevia, uh, there's a chemical in here that relaxes the blood vessels, and so that opens up the blood vessels to a wider uh, volume, and so more blood can flow, and so that helps lower your blood pressure. And so for folks like me, that could be a good benefit for you. But if you have high blood pressure to begin with, sugar is proven one of the things that you don't want if you have diabetes and heart issues, because they do elevate your blood sugars and cause complications with insulin, your body's natural insulin making ability. And so that's why I went over to stevia, because it relaxes my blood vessels. It helps maintain my blood pressure at a much lower rate, and even and it. But the thing is, be sure to talk to your primary care doctor when you switch over to this, because this stevia could react to some medications, and if that medication is one of those that is for regulating your blood pressure, that could cause some complications or some negative side effects. So anyway, um, a single shot of raspberry into 1 liter, or half a shot for a smaller version, and mix it in, stir it, and serve. I mean, it is fantastic. And if you get tired of the red raspberry, there's a lot of different other flavors that you can add to your repertoire of iced teas. But right now, this is a refreshing iced tea for the summer months ahead. It gives me a different flavor, and it allows me to control the different flavors, because I can order all sorts of different flavors of the syrup to flavor my iced tea. And then having a minty freshness gives it, even more uh, pleasure, a coolness, a refreshing feeling with the minty flavor in there. So thanks for joining me today. Enjoy the summer, and I hope you take advantage of this little tip. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.